Well, grand rising, everyone. Oh, whoops, let me hit the transition button. Ooh. How are y'all doing on this fine day? Oh, I forgot to turn my light on. I hate when I do that. I hate when I forget to turn my light on. Good rising, everybody. Did I give you all enough time to file in? I took a little bit longer than I normally do, and I apologize for anybody who watches this after the fact where you're like, dude, when the hell did she start to stream? It's because I needed coffee, and like Brian drank all the coffee, so I had to wait for him to make more coffee. And you know how it goes. You know, first world problems. Gotta wait for stuff sometimes. I want to say hi to those of you who are in Rockfin, Sarah G, PSYOP within a PSYOP, Rise and Shine Y'all, Valley Parks, Cold Brews, Happy Moonday, Brian Stavely, Aram. Thank you for being here. And I am streaming on YouTube today. So let me say hi to all of you fine people on YouTube. I'm not going to stay on YouTube for the whole stream though. And depending on how the conversation goes, I guess will dictate how long I stay on YouTube. Because, you know, there was an event yesterday that happened, which is very similar to another event that happened just like it 3 years prior, but it was in a different country. It seems to be some sort of copycat thing. Anyway, it's really hilarious, and I would love to go over that and talk about it, but I'm not going to be able to do that on the YouTubes. So we'll just save that for later. And we have other stuff to talk about until then. Brian Stavely, good to see you. Jew here. NH Guy, Awesome Austin, Jennifer Kiesling, Tia Roberts, Rico's Tinfoil Sombrero, Zulu 1. Good to see you. Annette, Rob Cleveland. Hello, Unindoctrinated. Mike D for Life. Doc Michael, Thunder Chicken. No Despair Bear. Moon was epic last night. You know what fucking sucks, No Despair Bear? Is that I had great weather in my area up until right before the eclipse started. And then a big old fat storm rolled in right on top of me and blocked out everything. And I saw nothing. All I heard was rain and thunder all night long. And I ended up just going to sleep because I didn't get to see one lick, not one lick of that eclipse. Not even a minute. Not a minute of it. And I'm not happy about it because I had my camera out, you know, because I was like ready. I'm like, this is great because the eclipse is in a nice area, or it's a nice time of year. It's nice and warm. You know, excuse me, I still have my biscuit and I want to eat some of my biscuit. And I just didn't see any of it. Nothing. Ted Summer, my love, hello. And Carl Taylor, good to see you. Evening. Ha, that's right, it's evening time for you. Well, we're just getting up. Carl's getting ready to go night-night. Rethink Inc. More of the same people. Mojo Shop. Awesome Austin. No Despair Bear. Hippie Shake 29. DITRH. Hi! Oh, David got to go see the Deftones last night. He was hanging out with Steph. Man, I'm super jealous. I wanted to go again. I want to go again. What is their schedule like? Is there any... I want to go again. Minnesota, Chicago, Milwaukee, Sterling Heights, Michigan. They're going to be in Connecticut, Philadelphia, and DC. Man. I mean, I guess I could drive to Philadelphia, but or Washington, D.C., but that's really long, and honestly, I don't really like Washington, D.C. either. I don't know. Anyway, it looked like a really cool place to see a show because they were on some rooftop venue and they had the Brooklyn Bridge behind them. And it was nice weather, had the full moon out. Like, that's amazing. That was probably a really awesome show, except you guys were standing behind the Deftones. I would have been standing in the front, like go around so you could watch them play, but you were in the back, which is, I guess that's kind of cool, but it sounds better and looks better in the front. 15-hour drive. Shit. I don't want to drive 15 hours. I love them, but I don't want to drive 15 hours. I wish they would have played in Charlotte. That would have been cool. Excuse my eating. But, you know, it's coffee talk. And I need a little some sort of food with the coffee because coffee is like a, you know, it helps digestion. It's like a diuretic. So if you drink coffee and you don't eat anything, it can kind of wreak havoc on your system. Hi, Eric DeLeon. Yeah, Thunder Chicken, Sterling Heights in Michigan. Yeah, Michigan Lottery Amphitheater. And I think Marty Leeds, I think Steph said that Marty Leeds is going to meet him at the Milwaukee one in Wisconsin. I think, which would be cool. And then the last one, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Chicago. I don't know. Some of those bigger cities I just don't really have a desire to go to, especially after going to Atlanta. Blah. I much prefer like country vibes. Actually, though, I will say though that the venue in Atlanta was in the park and there's a bunch of trees, and like once we started getting in there, we were walking around and there was trees around. I did feel much better than being in actual downtown Atlanta. So, there's that. Do you guys want to see the pictures of David with Stefan? Since we're talking about it, I'll show you the pictures and video they sent me. Because that's what I like to do. I like to show you guys pictures and video. Because it makes things so interesting. Let's see here. There we go. Oh wait, I don't know if I'm going to use that call-in number yet. Don't use that number yet. But there's David and Stefan and Alex. Alex over here. How cute. Oh, I forgot to say hi to Twitch. Voynit. Chris. Chicago artist. Rob the Truth. Anybody else over here? Doc Michael is over there too. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit much now, huh? And then this picture here is really cute. Oh, look at that. Look at all their smiling faces. You know why they're so happy? Oops. God dang it. I have to get the dock out of there. You know why they're so happy? Because they know the earth is flat. You know that? That's why. I know Twitch is a good alternative for those of you who are on YouTube and you don't have a Rockfin subscription. When I leave YouTube's, Twitch is a good alternative. I'm just saying. Yeah, his shirt says 0% vegan. Isn't that awesome? I love it. Sorry, I forget that. Here, let me just minimize this. There we go. Yeah, 0% vegan. And somebody commented on my Facebook post about blah, blah, blah. Meat's rotting. The flesh is rotting in our guts. Listen. You know how, like, years ago it was so trendy to be vegan? Everybody was like, go vegan, go vegan. Well, now a lot of people are starting to come out and say, you know what? Being vegan ruined my health. And I'm going to start doing a series of interviews because I've already done an interview with one woman who was vegan for years and it ruined her health, and she started eating meat again and she came back to good health. Her health has improved greatly since then, and that was Yasmin, right? I found another woman who posts about the same thing, about how she was vegan and it ruined her health, ruined her teeth. And so now she is a big advocate of eating meat. So I have no problem with this message. However, I don't have anything against people who have a vegan diet. I will not go out and say, I'm not going to like go railing against people, but my point of talking about that with these people is to let everybody else know that it's okay if you're not a vegan. It's okay not to be vegan, okay? It's okay. It's okay to eat bioavailable foods that provide you the nutrients that your body needs, okay? This is okay. How good is it? I don't know. I didn't try it, Rico, because it's all IPA. And I can't drink IPAs, dude. When we were on the bus, they have a little cooler thing and you open it and they're like, here, go help yourself. And I was looking in there and I was like, oh, cool, Deftones beer. What is it? Oh, I was like, oh, IPA. I'm like, I can't drink that. Because I know it will just upset my stomach. I don't like those. I don't like the taste of them. And so Ted drank it. He said it was good. But I was like bummed out. I'm like, oh, I see these on their page all the time. And look, I got one right here from the bus and I can't drink that. I'll just give it to somebody else who can actually enjoy it. Because I wouldn't enjoy it. You know, let somebody else enjoy it. I would just be like, bleh, the whole time. You know, so I just drink something else. That's right, David. I agree. I love animals. They're delicious. But I also love animals as pets and companions, you know? Like I don't just... There's a way and a purpose to things, okay? That's just how it is. And I don't care if you don't like it. You know? Thank you, Eric. Ted will, yeah. No, he won't eat anything. There's certain things that he doesn't like. Like, Ted does not like a balsamic glaze. Like, you know those, like, balsamic syrup glazes where it's, like, reduced balsamic vinegar, and then you pour it on, like, a nice sweet peach, and you have that, like, sweet and savory, like, deliciousness going on. He can't stand that. He thinks it's an abomination. So Ted won't eat that. But I think it's good. I try. Yeah. You tried vegan, you were cold all the time because your body is constantly using, you know, whatever nutrients it has available to it. You know, I just didn't feel, I didn't feel right at all after eating, after I had gone enough time where I was 100% plant-based in my diet, and it had been months and months and months since I had eaten anything from an animal. I felt really weird. Yes, Ted likes bananas and tomatoes. I don't know if he likes them together. I don't know. That sounds a little weird to me. You know, I hate that. You know, those labels that people want to put on everybody is such bullshit. You're not a real truther if blah, blah, blah. Whatever. I don't even like that word truther. That word to me makes it sound like you know the truth about everything already. I'm a truther. I already know the truth about everything. You know, whereas if you're a truth seeker, you're still looking for truth. You're always looking for truth, and you're always open to look at new information, and which could possibly change your mind about things again. You know, that happens. You probably changed your mind about things, you know, when you found out that we were lied to about most of our reality, and so you've already sort of over the years kind of had to rebuild your ideas, and we're still figuring stuff out. So at some point, at any point, you could come across information that would cause you to change your views about things again, you know? So I would think that, you know, anybody would really want to just constantly be in search of truth, whatever that may be. Let me see. Are any of your videos worth playing? Yeah, I'll play some of the videos because it's cool where you were. Let's see. Look at that, a full moon. New York in the background. That's so cool. I like that. Let's see, is this the same thing? See their view, they're back here behind everybody. There's that's kind of cool, but I don't know. As someone who likes their music, I'd have rather been in the front, which is where I hung out, so I could watch them play. Let's see, I think that was the longest one. Uh-oh. Why am I beach balling? Oh, okay, it's just that. Let's see. I think that was it. Right? Or there's this one, which is like right before it gets really dark. It's not very long. It's like when they open, right? This is when they first start. This is how they open. And everybody's all stoked, cheering for them. Isn't that cool? They got a very loyal following, don't they? Oh, look, we have a new chatter on Twitch who says, I look like Kirk Hammett. Why? Because I have curly hair? Gray curly hair? That's funny. What do you think? Do you think I look like Kirk Hammett? Yeah. Did you have fun, David? Let's see. I think... Didn't I save other pictures from you? Oh, here we go. Here's another one. Right here. How's that? That's a good picture too, isn't it? Darlene, oh my god. I know. How's Spicy Sarah? Spicy Sarah is doing very well, as far as I know. They named their daughter Josephine. I think that's such a beautiful name. I forget what the middle name is. I have to go back and look in the message. But they named her Josephine, and she's so pretty. She looks just like Sarah. But, you know, Sarah had to have a C-section. She ended up going to the hospital, and she had a C-section to get the baby out. Those are very hard to heal from. It's harder to heal from a C-section than it is to heal from natural birth, because I've done it both ways. The first way, my first baby was born C-section, and then I had 2 VBACs, which is when the baby comes out the baby highway like it's supposed to. But the C-section, that's like, it's way harder to heal from that, because they have to cut you open and they take all your insides out. And then they put it all back together, like through the muscle, everything, right? So, like, you can't even walk. You can't even, like, hardly, you know, lift yourself up, like, you know, with your stomach muscles, hardly. I mean, it's hard to heal from a C-section, okay? So, that's what she's doing now. She's got a new baby, and she's healing from a C-section, so she's just kind of dealing with that. She just has to only focus on that for a while, but she's okay. She's doing really well. Yeah. But she's okay. But that was, like, it sucks, man. It sucks to have to go through that. Yeah, they're not happy, you know, and I don't understand. Like, to me, that's like last resort, right? And for her, it was a last resort. She had a very painful, she was in labor for quite a long time and in a lot of pain and blah, blah, blah. And so, yeah, you were there to see the first one. Yeah. Yeah, I forget what I was saying. Something about having a C-section. But yeah, it sucks because it hurt, you know, everything, you know. You're not even allowed to drive. But when you have the baby the normal way, you're like up and walking around in just a couple of hours, you know. But when you have a C-section, you're like healing for weeks. That turns into it instantly. It's weeks of healing instead of hours or days. Yeah. Yeah. Right? So, okay, I know what I was going to say. You know how there's like people who plan C-sections because they're afraid of childbirth? Like, that's so ignorant and naive. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of people doing that, but there are women who, they don't want to have to push the baby out, right? So they plan for a C-section, but that's bad. It's way harder to heal from a C-section than it is from natural birth. Brian Stavely says, last time I tried to push a baby out my vajayjay, I had some serious issues too. My sister had a C-section which almost killed her because it came infected. Wow! Yeah, look at all the C-section babies. Well, the way that they have women labor in these hospitals, like, it's, I don't know the whole story, everybody's individual story of how they ended up with C-sections. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. And I'm not going to presume to know. A lot of times there's emergency. Like, for mine, the first one was because my baby was not, like, growing anymore inside of my stomach. And they were like, well, we could do more for him outside of the womb than we can inside at this point, and so it was like, and then when he was born, my placenta was really small. It was only like that big, so he wasn't getting enough nourishment. And like, they didn't know why. Nobody could tell me why. Like, nobody could tell me why. I mean, I wasn't drinking. I did not drink at all beyond like the first couple of months, because that's what made me figure out I was pregnant, because I had a beer. I smelled the beer, and the beer, just the smell of the beer made me want to vomit. And I was like, whoa. Well, that's how I found out, right? So I didn't drink at all. And, they'll tell you all day long that smoking cannabis does nothing to harm a baby. There's like absolutely no record of birth defects from people who smoke cannabis while they're pregnant. So there's no reason that would have been it. But you know what? I was under a large amounts of stress because of my job. And I think that stress is what did it. Stress puts untold, manifests itself in untold, uncountable ways physically in your body, right? And so working full-time and being pregnant and being stressed out, I think, is what caused my problem, personally. Hindsight being 2020, when I go and I look back on what was going on in my life at that time, I believe it was because of stress. Now, my baby came out, spent 23 days in the natal intensive care unit. I couldn't even take my baby home with me, but I was able to produce enough milk where I was pumping it and saving it and bringing it to the hospital, and my baby lived off of my breast milk the whole entire time that it was in the intensive care unit. And in fact, I produced so much milk that they told me, just put it in your freezer and save it at home, because we have enough now. Right? They were like, we don't need any more. So my baby lived entirely on my breast milk, even though he wasn't with me. And I believe that is what a good amount of what, pulled him through that, so, which is what, and I, this whole breast milk shortage thing, you got to wonder why are so many women having problems producing breast milk, right? Like, I could have fed twins. Every time I had a baby, my boobs were just like engorged, like as painfully engorged, right? Just painfully. So what is it that, where it worked okay for me and it doesn't for somebody else? Like, what is that? That can't be a natural thing, right? What's causing that? I feel like that is, making it so women are unable to produce breast milk after they have babies. I feel like that is something that maybe could have stemmed from, pokey poke. I mean, I hate censoring myself. Fuck YouTube, dude. Fuck YouTube. I just want to say right now, fuck YouTube. Yes, lots of people having C-sections and lots of people not being able to produce breast milk. Like, this is not how it was 100 years ago. People pushed babies out the normal way, and then they fed babies from their breasts. Like, that's how it's been for as long as people have been breeding this way, right? Forever. And it's how it works for all mammals that we see in nature, right? So what is it? What is happening that women can't produce breast milk? And then there's this whole, like, and here's the thing too, right now there's a supposed shortage of formula, breast milk formula going on, right? And then you see people going, well, why don't you just, the food comes from your breasts, right? Oh, not everybody could breastfeed. I couldn't breastfeed. I didn't produce milk. Why? You got to ask why, dude. Why are so many women having problems producing breast milk? What is going on there? Yeah. I feel like, this, to me, that is a symptom of the bigger problem, right? Like, let's go back in time. Like, when did that start becoming a thing? Think about when the regular inoculation program was instated. That was in the early 60s, right? That was in the early 60s. And then what? Shortly after that, that's when it becomes like trendy and common to start having C-sections, like what the babies that were born and inoculated in and around that time, and then they start growing up, right? They become of childbearing age. Now we're getting into where that's who's having babies now. And how come all these women are having problems producing breast milk, right? There was never a shortage of baby formula before men started having babies. What do you... Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing. Any woman can produce breast milk even if they've never had a child. If you are a woman of child-producing age, you have normal physical body of a natural-born female, you can stimulate your breast to produce milk without having a child. You can start to produce breast milk. Like, if you had a baby or somebody, like, say your best friend had a baby and their best friend died giving birth to that baby, you could let that baby suckle on your breast and it would stimulate your breasts. Like, the act of having that baby and holding that baby and letting that baby suckle on your breast would stimulate your breasts to produce milk for that baby. Because that's how it works. You could do it that way. To this day, I had 3 babies. I breastfed all 3 of my babies. To this day, if I am within earshot of a newborn infant who is crying because it's hungry and it wants boob milk, I get that sensation in my nipples. It's called the letdown reflex. And you only know what it feels like if you have breastfed babies, but it's called the letdown reflex. And it's like you feel this sensation in your nipples, and as soon as you feel that sensation, it's like the milk just starts flowing. Like, if you've ever seen those pictures, those jokes or whatever, or a mom who's got like wet boobs, it's because her baby cried and her boobs were like, oh, baby cry, needs milk, right? And it just comes out. It literally will just come out. So, I still feel that reflex. I don't have any breast milk, so nothing comes out, thank God. Right? But if I did, and I heard that sound, milk would just start pouring out. What did you guys say? There's no... His mother was able to stop pumping at 8 months, had enough in the freezer. Yeah, I know. Dude, I breastfed my daughter until she was 4. And my son, my second son, I breastfed, I don't know, till he was he got cut off a little early because he had a biting problem, and then he started getting teeth, and I was like, okay, you're done. Yeah. Start them titties. Austin, that's funny. By the way, if you've ever tried breast milk too, it's sweet. I actually tasted my own breast milk because I was curious. I made so much of it, and I would like, if it got on my hand, I licked it off, and I was like, it's actually sweet and like creamy. It wasn't bad. Is that weird? Like, I don't want to drink it, but I mean, when I tasted it, I was like, oh, I get why babies like it. You know? Some women have the problem breastfeeding because they think it's gross to have a baby sucking on it. Yeah. I don't understand. See, that is a mental mind F thing that was imposed on women by society somehow, because, you know, that's just a ridiculous thought. That's just a ridiculous thought. I've been hearing from younger women that are having babies that they literally aren't producing enough milk in their own. They have to eat these booby bars. Yeah, you know what? Because there are certain things you can take to help you produce milk too. There are certain things you can take to help you produce milk, like fenugreek tea, right? Fenugreek is really good for helping with milk production, like ridiculously. If you drink fenugreek tea, they even have it. You can go in the store and you can buy fenugreek tea, and it's like called mother's milk or something. Yeah. It is from programming. They want to sexualize everything, you know, when realistically, you know, that's literally how it should work. Rico, what? That's gross. Back in time, women didn't have options of convenience of today. Are we sure these women can't produce breast milk, or is it just hard? And instead of dealing with the hardness, they go to easy fixes like formula. You know what? I think that is part of it, Gnome Digest on Rockfin, by the way. I do think that's part of it, because here's the thing. When I first started breastfeeding, like, it can be extremely painful, because when your nipples aren't used to having a baby suckle on them, you know, it's very rough on the skin, and you can get chapped nipples, and it becomes hard and like cracked sometimes if you don't, you know, you have to treat it. It can be very painful at first, but if you get through that part, if you get through that initial phase where you're kind of like getting broken in to breastfeeding your baby, then it's no sweat. It's like super easy. It never hurts. It's not an issue. It's like, man, you don't even lose sleep anymore. You literally just lay down in bed and have the baby sleep next to you, and then the baby can nurse while you're sleeping. It is the best. It's literally, once I did it that way, I was like, this is how it should be. You don't put the baby in a crib in another room away from you with a baby monitor. You keep the baby right there next to you, okay? And when the baby wakes up in the middle of the night and says, goo, 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 ah, hungry, you just put your boob in its mouth, boom, go back to sleep, baby eats, you're done. That's how simple it is. Nobody loses any sleep. You bond with your baby. It's the best way. That's how it should be. Thank you, Arlette. Cheers for the tip on Rockfan. Appreciate you. I was vegan for 15 years, not now. Yeah. There you go, Valley Parks. Working on the mural. You painting? That's cool. There's always the April 8th, 2024 total solar lunar eclipse. What do you mean? Total solar lunar eclipse? Is it lunar or solar? I thought that was the solar eclipse. Yeah, bag balm. Or lanolin. I used a lanolin. Saved my boobies. And then after that, it was like no sweat. Once you get through that initial time, it's not a big deal. Hi, Karen. Awesome sent me your link. Happy to be here. Thank you. Cheers, Betty. Thanks for being here. Fenugreek is prescribed for all kinds of hormone imbalances. Is it? Well, yeah, that makes sense because it helps with breast milk production. So if any women are out there and you're having breast milk production issues, drink some fenugreek tea. What about the psyop of giving your baby Caro? What is that? I don't even know what that is. Isn't it interesting that during a lunar eclipse here on Earth, the moon people have a solar eclipse? My son tried to be vegan in first grade because of brainwashing. He ended up having sensory issues and stopped growing. I pushed him to eat meat and he grew. Wow! Exactly. Some women have trouble because breastfeeding because their child has a tongue tie. Yeah, that was missed at birth and happened to us. My son didn't have his procedure to fix it until he was almost 8 weeks old. High glucose corn syrup? Ugh. Why would you ever give your baby that crap? I don't know, man. I don't know, but there's nothing like mother's milk. I would do anything and everything I could. You know, I think a lot of women give up on breastfeeding because it's not very easy in the beginning, or the milk production slows down and they don't know that there's things that they can do to keep that going. You know? There's lots of things you can do, but they don't teach you that. They just say, "Oh, go buy formula. There, problem solved. Mix it in a bottle. You're good." You know, but they don't tell you, you know, you can seek out the help of a lactation consultant and they can try to help you. Like, I realize that there's women who have issues. That's why, I mean, I'm not denying that, but why? You gotta ask why. Think about that. That's a whole nother issue. You know, that's a side conversation to the fact that if you are able to produce breast milk or you're having issues, there's things you can do to help that along. Don't give up, you know. Max mother's milk is bad. Well, you know. It is getting a lot of airtime. Do you not want to look at it anymore? I like it. What about this one? Here, I'll put this one up. Is that better? Vegan diets could be a factor. Actually, you know what, Lunderground? That's a good point. Vegan diets could be a factor to not producing enough breast milk because you need bioavailable food for nutrients. I mean, breast milk, you know, after you have the baby, you're not done. You know, your body takes every single bit of nutrients to grow that baby when you're growing a whole brand new human, because, you know, it's not an easy thing to do to grow a new human. right? So whenever all the nutrients that you take in while you're pregnant with that child is going to growing that child, right? Because you know, you can't, energy isn't, what do they say? Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only change form. So you take that energy from that one life force and you consume that, and then you as an your body is like the ultimate alchemist, and it's transforming that energy into the energy of bringing a new life, you know, or maintaining your life, right? So it's like when you have that baby, after that, it's, you know, it continues, right? Then that becomes, then all that energy goes into producing the milk to feed the baby, right? Because the baby has to continue to grow. It doesn't have any teeth, can't chew food yet, blah, 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 right? It needs the mother's milk. So then that energy goes into growing, making the milk for that baby. And you get voraciously hungry after you breastfeed. I used to get really hungry, and I would always want cheeseburgers because that was like such a great, like, well-rounded food, like a fully loaded cheeseburger with tomato and lettuce and cheese. It's like the best, right? That is what I would always want after a good breastfeeding session or something, you know? Blood worshippers? What is a blood worshipper? It's got nothing to do with blood worshipper. Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. And then also there's multiple purposes too to breastfeeding your child after you give birth. That also causes your uterus to contract because, right, because your uterus was huge because it grew this baby, and now it has to contract back down to its normal size, right? So when you're breastfeeding your baby, that is also, you know, triggering things in your processes in your body, you know, reactions. It's like, oh, okay, well, the baby's out now, so now we're going to shrink the womb back down, and we're going to start making breast milk. We're going to feed the baby. And then it also starts to, it helps you lose weight too, because it starts to, you know, eat the reserves, the fat reserves that you may have or whatever. It really helps you get back into shape too, breastfeeding after you have your baby. There's like multiple benefits to breastfeeding your baby, multiple, to both mother and child, right? It's best for the baby, and then it helps the mother, you know, get back into shape, into pre-baby mode. My coworker just told me if you switch your region on Amazon to Canada, etc., there isn't a shortage. Same brands and suppliers his wife showed him. Right? It's all planned crap. Fluoride will affect. Well, yeah, of course. If, as long as, that's why it's important for mothers to have the best diet and be eating the best food, right? Whatever you give mom whatever she needs, because it goes into the baby too. And and also the other good thing about breastfeeding for me as a side effect is because, you know, I breastfed for years consecutively because I had two children 2.5 years apart. And so I was breastfeeding the whole time with the 2.5-year-old, and then I had the third one, and then just kept chugging right along. And so I didn't take any pills. I stopped taking all pain pills, any sort of pharmaceutical thing. I just completely stopped, because if you look on the back of any of that stuff, like once you become conscious of what you're taking into your body, especially as just being pregnant, right? So basically it started when I became pregnant. I stopped taking stuff like that. But especially too afterwards, when you're breastfeeding, you still have to be conscious of it, because whatever you consume will go into your breast milk. So I still never did for years take any of that stuff, even long after I had stopped actually having babies. So I never, you know, take pills for anything, like as far as pain pills, Tylenol, Aleve, or any sort of nothing like that. No, the appendix is not vestigial. No, it's not. You're right, Nora. It is not. Actually, and I've said this before, after I had my babies, I was, and I had been working for like the first time. It's like, what do they give you for maternity leave? Like 6 to 8 weeks? It's like 2 months. That's not shit. That is not shit. Not any, and then you're supposed to hand off your newborn baby to somebody else so you can go back to work every day. That's a fucking travesty right there. A travesty. I mean, if you are a working mom, like say you are a mom and you're a woman who has a career and you do want to take time to have children, right? I mean, I would say realistically, if you want to have a baby, you need to take at least a year off. I would say I wouldn't even work while I was pregnant. I would say more than a year. I would say a year after you have the baby, but even stop working while you're pregnant, because stress, if you have a stressful job, it can affect your pregnancy. It happened to me. So for me, my personal opinion is if you are a woman and you are having babies, that's all you're doing. That's all you're doing is having babies for that period of time. Growing a baby, having a baby, taking care of a baby. That's all you need to do. Ideally. And then the man should be taking care of you so that you can take care of the baby. That's how it should work. The man should go to work. This is real. Seriously. It is the best way. Because there's nothing better for that baby than to be with their mom all the time for as long as possible. Nothing better. And that is how it should be. And that is why, the family unit is taking such a hit these last decades, right? Because they put the woman in the workplace and then the baby gets handed off to these little baby farms, off to the state to be raised and programmed like almost from birth, right? Because the moms are going to work and they're taking their baby to some daycare, paying like an insane amount of money so they can just keep their career going, right? Oh, I can't lose my job. I can't take time off my career to raise this baby. No, if you're having babies, if you're gonna have a baby, you need to fuck your career off for a while. Seriously. And that's just the way, in my opinion, that's the best thing you can do, is just focus on yourself, taking care of yourself, and so you can take care of that child. And that's the only thing that you should be doing. And then the father needs to be taking care of you so that you can take care of the baby. And that's how it works. Yeah. But my feminism, yeah. For me, that's the ultimate feminism, is allowing a woman to do what she needs to do, or what she's here to do, which is to be a woman and give birth to children and raise them and take care of them and love them and nurture them and make sure they don't grow up to be assholes. I mean, seriously, this is why people grow up to be assholes. Because they get taken away from their mothers too fucking soon. Oh boy. Wheel clamped. Breast implants became popular in the 70s and 80s. Yeah. I imagine C-sections are also leading to more cases of postpartum depression, as C-section removes some of the important trauma bond. Yes, probably. Hi, Alex. I was in breach for 19 hours. They had to roll me over my mom's tummy for almost a whole day. Yeah. Bill Gates is investing in a lab-grown breast milk. Of course he is! Because think about that. I mean, you literally are what you eat. Think about that. And you know, we've all been here walking around on this plane long enough to see if you eat shit, if you eat crap food your entire life, your health goes in the toilet, you become a fat, slobby mess, and you have all kinds of health issues, right? Like, this is undeniable observational proof that we have seen time and time again, right? Like, this is undeniable. So think about it. They are, look at the fact that that evil son of a bitch is trying to get his hands in the literal milk that these children eat at their most important time, that like they are literally growing from this little pod of a creature that, and they're coming at that, and it's going to be developing off of whatever crap they put in that milk. And it's not even if nutritionally, it's considered sufficient for an infant to drink. What kind of energetic witchcraft do you think is in there? I mean, they know how this place works. They know how intent works. They know how that this place runs off of energy, frequency, and vibration. You know? What are they doing to that stuff? Nobody can take better care of your child than you. Nobody can feed your child better than you. Nobody's going to love and care for your child better or more than you yourself. Nobody. And to get women to foolishly put their trust of their most precious thing that they have in their lives to somebody else so they can go off and mine somebody else's fucking gold is disgusting to me. Yeah. I ease Karen's stress by being here with it. Yes. Exactly. Ted, that is exactly right. He does a lot around here to take care of the stuff around the house, and he takes care of me, and then I take care of everything else, right? It's like a support system. And that's how you do it, right? Everybody does what they are good at. They contribute in the way that they can, and we prop each other up that way. That's a family system. That's a family unit, right? That's how it's supposed to work. Yeah. Government is a third party in a modern day marriage, and the husbands get cucked on a regular basis. That's a true statement. The father should be the breadwinner. A world full of psychopath motherless children, yeah. And fatherless. And other teenagers were taking care of other ladies' infants 8 hours a day. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to... Let's see here. Should I open phones yet? Or should I kill YouTube first? Some evil people would love to eat your babies more than you, exactly. They would love to teach your children all kinds of horrible things. Right? That perpetuate their agenda. So they can crank out good little slaves to keep mining their gold and not ask questions, right? That's exactly what they want. And the only way to prevent that is for you to raise your own children. That's literally the only way to stop it. Kill YouTube first? Okay. That's probably true. kill the tube. Right. Yeah. Thank you. Cheers, Black Swan. Because people don't, you know, it's all this feminism bullshit. I mean, they're ruining everything. They're totally ruining something that had worked well for us for hundreds and hundreds of years. This is how our survival has worked, you know, for hundreds and hundreds of years, is that moms raise their babies and dads take care of the moms so that they can take care of the children. Right? Okay. Let's kill the YouTubes, and then we'll go to all the other alternative platforms and we can start discussing the other stuff. We've got some video to look at. We can open phones and start having some discussions about all the stuff that they don't want you to talk about. Right? And then we'll come back. So let's take a little break. Oh, well, actually, wait. Before I go, hold on. I'm not going to kill YouTubes yet, because I'm going to talk about Flattoberfest before I go. I got some announcements to make before I totally kill YouTube, okay? So, first of all, I don't have it up on my website yet because I was working on a promo for Flattoberfest, and plus I was busy planting plants in the garden because it's that time of year and all that good stuff, fun stuff. So I haven't put it up on the website yet, but there will be a meetup in Charlotte at a place called Room and Board in the Noda district of Charlotte, North Carolina on June 11th. Okay, Flat Earth meetup in Charlotte, June 11th at Room and Board at what time, Brian? 8 something, 8 o'clock, 8:30. Yeah. So there's that. And then I have a Flattoberfest promo to play for you. I haven't uploaded it yet because I'm having somebody do a voiceover for me who is new, because I want somebody else to voice over my promos besides me. I'm tired of being the one always doing it. So I'm asking somebody else to do it. Okay, but here, check it out. Tickets are on early bird sale at flatearthfestivals.com, and this promo right here is going to let you know who has been confirmed so far. And in fact, I already have to add somebody to my promo because I already confirmed another speaker. So, yeah. I may be rendering this promo again later today, to be honest with you. Anyway, here, check it out.
people that have functioning brains who aren't afraid to show their beautiful faces.
I sure like Rose. I love her. She's the best. So anyway, yeah, there you go. And if you H-Town, what's up? Do you guys see just one copy of Hibbler's Next Level has over 200,000 views? Cool! Good. I hope more people wake up to Flat Earth. Excellent. Yeah. All right. So anyway, there you go. Benjamin Balderson, Mark Sargent, Jason Lindgren, Chief Crow and the Flat Earthworms, Cammy and Zach doing How the World Works, and also I have somebody else who I just confirmed yesterday, who I already have to add to that list. And I don't know, should I say it here or should I just wait until we go to somewhere else? I think I'm going to wait until we go to somewhere else, and then YouTube people will just have to wait until next week. So anyway, you can go to any of the other channel links in the description. Rockfin's there, Twitch is there. Those are the other places where we will continue to be live, and also Facebook. That's right. Fedbook. Who made the music? That's just free music. That's just free music from YouTube. Okay. All right. I will see you all in a little bit after we go for a break.